The question which came in, would like to put it on air. So if you call just before the news, please call back and lawyer Van Koesveld will quickly answer your question. But before that call comes, let me quickly take advantage and ask this question. I read somewhere that extended.
There it is.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is
Frankie, yes.
Somebody who's on out caring
Yeah.
can invite a wife over or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Lawyer, over to you.
No, well, normally no. There's always exceptions to the rules, but when you want to get your partner to come to the Netherlands, you have to make sure that your income is high enough, and that your income you will get that income for a long enough period. So that means you have to have an income for at least 1 year, and the height is being renewed, because that every 6 months everybody gets less income, but the requirements to get your partner here will go up every 6 months. And at the moment, when you need to have bruto income of 1,456 euros and 20 cents. That's the exact amount, excluding your 8% holiday money. And if you do not have that income, especially when you have an uitkering, that's not going to work. And then the exception to the rule would be if you are not able to work, and you will not be able to work now or in the future, and then there might be an exception to that rule. But with an uitkering, normally, no, you cannot be reunited with your family.
Okay, Mr. Frank, I hope that answers your question.
And also, can somebody on outcome get married here?
Okay, good question.
Yeah, well, marriage is a whole different thing, but you can, there is no restriction to get married if you have an uitkering. But maybe what you mean is if you can get married to someone without a staying permit.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is possible, but the gemeente will first ask for permission from the IND to be allowed to get married. But the fact that you get married does not give your partner a legal stay here, because a marriage does not imply that you will be given a residence permit. Still, you have to meet up with all the other requirements. So marriage is one thing, but for the rest, you will have to to get enough income and all the rest of the requirements.
Okay, thank you.
You're
welcome, sir. Okay, bless. Okay, my last question before we go. I read elsewhere that extended family reunions, that is, let's say, sponsoring adult family members, will no longer be possible. Is that true?
That's true.
And why?
Yeah. Why?
That means if I want to, my younger sister to come.
No, there's not, it has, by the way, it's always been quite difficult. Extended family reunion has been, for instance, for family members who were not part of the core family. So a core family is parents, children.
Yes.
But they were allowed to come because there were very specific circumstances, and due to these circumstances, it was not fair to leave these family members behind in the country. Most situations there were about children that were over 18, because you can let a child come and join your family.
Yeah.
And up till 18,
Yes.
when it's 18, was supposed to be an adult.
Yes.
And supposed to be living independently.
Yes.
So the extended family reunion was, in most of the cases, meant for children that were 18 or older, for which you could prove that, listen, the rest of the families in the Netherlands,
Yes.
we've always been living together as a family. The children are still living together as a family. They are dependent on each other, and if we would have to leave the one child who's over 18 behind, that would be a hardship that is not fair. Well, how this is going to be in the future, I don't know. But what they have said now, well, this possibility, we're just going to stop this possibility. That's true. So that's another restriction.
So you mean it cannot even be contested?
Well,
in law to
everything can be contested. Let's just face it. Everything can be contested, and this as well, because when this is a family member, there can be rights to continuation of family life, and these circumstances. Well, but that has to be found out in every individual circumstances. But where there used to be a small possibility, they've now said no. We're gonna end this possibility altogether. If this is going to hold up in court eventually, I don't know, but I'll know a few years from now. So that's not really something I can
really
say anything from.
Okay.
If there's a last thing that I made before I forget, which is very, very, very important. This is about a topic that we've spoken about earlier, and that's again something completely different, but it's really very important that people know. That is when people are in touch with the police and or with the immigration office and are handed a return decision saying that they have to return to their own country within a certain amount of time. Made sometimes together with a re-entry ban, saying that they will have to leave the country and that as soon as they leave they will not be allowed back for a period of 1 up to 10 years. This is a decision that can and that has to be appealed, and so if you're handed such a piece of paper, if you don't have a lawyer, don't really know what to do with it, make sure that you get a lawyer and make sure that the lawyer looks into this to see if he or she can do anything about it. Because if you do not do anything about that within usually the 4 weeks that you're able to do it, then the re-entry ban is final, and then if you leave, you have problems coming back. So I cannot say this enough. If you have such a decision, make sure that you have a lawyer who look into it to appeal that decision.
Wonderful.
Yeah?
Very good tip. Thank you so much once again. Thank you for the extra time. Well, listeners, we hope you enjoyed this session. Stay tuned. We'll be bringing to you the local, our Niger news, and after that we'll bring to you a session on dementia. We're going to continue with this topic.